But I'm really messing up the aesthetic.
Yeah, get rid of your coffee. If I had to get rid of my water, but then you can have it. Unless we have coffee mugs.
Usually we have Tim's. It's always
Right? You don't
okay.
have hope for me in this, do you? Okay, let's do it.
All right. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're listening to this, This is our 5th episode of From the Ridge, our very own Northridge podcast. Today on the show, we have Angela Covert, our community relations representative on the show. And so, Angela, introduce yourself to those congregants who don't know you. What do you do here? How long have you been around? Who's Angela?
Who's Angela? Oh, that's a lot. But I am thankful to be here today, and I'm so excited to be on this episode because I've really been enjoying them myself. So my husband and I and daughter, we had started to attend Northridge in September 2018. That summer, we were looking for a church. I had recently moved up to Aurora, and I want to be able to be in community because I think it's very important as an individual to be able to be accessible to where you live and be supportive in that area. So that's when we started to attend. A few years went by, and I had the privilege of being hired into the position of the community representative in July. Excellent. So started here just over 3 months ago in the role, which has multifaceted. And so what I enjoy the most of it is the opportunity to get into community and connect with leaders and business members and just get a sense of who's who of the Aurora Newmarket area. Of course, the biggest role going into the Christmas season is the Kettle Campaign.
Right. And for those who don't know, who haven't been around a traditional year with the Salvation Army, you may be familiar with the bubbles you see at the mall or the grocery stores. The Salvation Army Kettle Campaign is our biggest fundraiser. Yeah. It has been going on for 100 plus years. And so what we are doing this year is we're actually being able to go back into the stores that we weren't able to last year. Exactly. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to be in all the stores. We're going to be in about 20 different venues across, it's Bradford, Newmarket, East Gwillimbury, and Aurora. And we also have the tip-tap machines, which are also going to be on sites as well. And they're also going to be in sites where we may not necessarily have the kettle and the pole. So there's going to be opportunity for anyone and everybody who has ever volunteered in the past or who wished to volunteer this year to have activity within the Kettle Campaign.
Beautiful. Yeah. Quick plug there. So if you're listening, Angela wants to hear from you.
I do want to hear from you because this is an important, it's not just a fundraiser. It is an opportunity to provide the funds that give hope.
Right.
We have amazing services and programs through the Salvation Army. I have been greatly impressed as I've come to get to know the Salvation Army a lot more intimately being in this role, but we're well respected in the community. People step up. We have a lot of volunteers who have volunteered to us, have no real connection to the Salvation Army, except that they see its worth here in our community. And so they have already stepped up. I've heard from quite a few. We've got about 60 odd who have started to volunteer.
Very cool.
But we need a lot more. We have a lot of venues and a lot of shifts.
Right. And so, Angela, we've been working through this reset series as a congregation. And so we're going through a lot of re's throughout. So resetting, recoming together as a community. And this November month, we're renewing our sense of commitment and resuming some of the practices. Right. So as you mentioned, last year we weren't able to quite have the full kettle experience. We're able to resume some of those traditional funding measures, but we're also renewing our sense of commitment as a congregation. And so tell me a little bit about what renewing that sense of community looks like and how valuable it is as Christian believers to be serving with one another in things such as the Kettle Campaign.
Yeah, I'd like to just, if I could back up a little bit, my experience here at Northridge has also included, of course, small groups. And I do want to bring that in because I think that as a member of a small group, which I've greatly benefited from as a leader, as a member, that local support just on Zoom or in person as we start to be able to renew our connection that way reminds me that we're not in this alone. We need to get through this life with the support. And again, Salvation Army, that is what it has been all its history, is supporting people who are in need. We all are in need in one way or other. And we're also in need to provide support to other in care. And that should be our call as Christians, is to be in community, meeting the needs of others. And this Kettle Campaign, I think, is a tangible way we can do that. Standing for 2 hours at a kettle out in the cold, potentially, may not look like it's exciting and it's really making a big difference, but it is.
Right.
Those 2 hours are bringing in the funds to support the programs throughout the year, but it's also bringing awareness to what the Salvation Army does and connecting. Many stories people tell me about their role when they're just standing there, people coming up to them and saying,
Right.
this is what the Salvation Army has meant to me.
Right.
Thank you for being here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
So the need to be, now we have this opportunity. This has been a couple of years of just sort of sitting on our couches and not being as active as we would want to be. Now we can do it. Now we can
Right.
get out, stand, greet, thank people.
Right.
And that's what I need, are people who are willing to do that. And I know often people get a little freaked out. I don't know if I want to stand for 2 hours out in the cold. Okay, that's fair. There's other things that I can use you for.
And I'm sure you're going to let the congregation know the many things
Yes.
that you could use their volunteer time
for
their assistance.
And I also encourage people who are maybe in business and they maybe want to have a kettle for the day at their business. If they have some traffic, you can do that. We have these fabulous tip-tap machines. Just stand there and people can just boop, give donation that way. So yeah, there's lots of different ways people can think out of the box around how they can support us this year.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just the overarching thing is, yes, we're resuming kettles, we're resuming fundraising, but we're really renewing our sense of community.
Yes.
And it goes back to the old William Booth line, heart to God, hand to man. And that sense of we as Christians are called to live in community, to bring Christ's love through tangible measures.
Yes.
Soup, soap, salvation. I'm pulling out all the old Army sayings.
I need to learn those sayings.
But in these ways, we're renewing that we as a congregation aren't just here on a Sunday morning.
No.
We're not just here at a small group, but we are in our community to enrich the lives of those, to share Christ's love, because we truly believe it's the transformative love of God.
Right.
That can change their hearts.
Yeah. And that's what I see here at Northridge. The Salvation Army is a true demonstration of Christ's love to us, and now we're responsible to bring that forward.
Excellent. Well, we're running a little over time.
That's okay.
Which is good. Which is good.
Okay.
But Angela was saying that this is the next step before Oprah. So
this is the next step before Oprah. So that's a pretty good step.
If you liked the show, make sure to tune in next time, because Angela's going to be a big star one day. Is that right?
I hope so.
Something
No,
like that.
I'm very excited to be here. This is great. Thank you, Nathan, for this time.
My pleasure.
I look forward to hearing from multitudes of people now.
Exactly, exactly. So tune in for our next episode. In the meantime, contact Angela and see how you can get involved in this year's Kettle Campaign and the various different opportunities we have here at Northridge to not just serve our church, but serve our community at large. Thanks so much. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, Nathan. Look forward to next time.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, guys.